Well, I've done it, Soph. I've booked the flights.
Excellent.
I love those headphones, Jasper.
You're not going first.
These are mine.
No, but I have paid extra for something. Quite a bit extra.
What?
Well, I can get exit row seats if I paid £80 per direction extra. I figured if I don't get exit row seats, I won't be able to edit on the plane because I won't be able to open my laptop, and it would be a long old flight to be cramped up with my my knees around my ears.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We're going bowling now.
Golden Rift. No, Golden Rift. Happy.
Just putting my mum on notice for this grand San Francisco tour we're going to be doing. Bye. Yeah, bye mum. Not cool. And I think somebody took exception to that because it's got a scratch on the side now. Or maybe that's the reason why he felt the need to park across 2 spaces. That actually could have been worse. Go on then. Careful. So close. Careful. Here we go. You know, so if the point of the game was to sneak the ball past the pins.
Okay, watch and learn.
Oh yeah. Ooh! You know, so that was quite impressive. The great thing is, at this age, you don't actually have to put any money in the machine, and he still seems to have loads of fun. I can't believe they had like, what, an hour's worth of fun in there without spending a single penny. Brilliant. We're all going back to our house now for a little bit of sort of play date, just not on the floor.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then later, I'm going to talk about Elon Musk's boring company. Is that your idea of waiting for Daddy? I'm also going to talk a little bit about flying cars, because he mentioned that as well in this TED talk. Quite an interesting little interview he had there. He's got himself a little bit tired. All that bowling's worn him out. Isn't that right, Jazzy?
You're a bit tired of it.
Just a little bit. Hey, out the way, Harry. Whee! Whoa, so cool.
Hey. Oh, thanks for see you soon anyway. Yeah. And have a good rest of the weekend.
That was a fun day. We all enjoyed that. Bit of bowling. That bowling lane may never be the same again. Luckily we got out of there before they presented us with the bill for the repairs. So let's talk Elon Musk and this TED talk. If you haven't seen it, I will link in the description because it is extremely interesting. He is clearly a massive dreamer, and I mean in the best possible way, not in the kind of pie in the sky, no realistic idea about anything, but one of those have a dream and I'm going to work in that direction. I don't know if I'll get there or not, but I am going to work at it as hard as I can. What an incredible bloke. Now specifically, when it comes to things like space, I actually fully agree with most of what he says, I think. However, when it comes to this boring company and the future of transportation, which, let's face it, there is a bit of a congestion issue, like a massive congestion issue that needs to be solved. But I don't think that his solution is going to ultimately be the correct one. From a design point of view, blank sheet of paper, let's make it happen. If you assume that, you know, everyone worked in a rational way and finances and the economy were all organised in a completely rational fashion, then I think that would be the best solution. I think it would work the best. I think it's got the least drawbacks. But there is one major issue with it, as far as I can see, and it's principally, I don't see how it can ever get started, because the investment costs are so high. Even if the cost of tunnels comes down by a factor of 10, you know, he was talking in here about, I think it was something like $1 billion for a mile's worth of subway tunnel. Well, if that came down by a factor of 10, that would still be $100 million for a mile. That's not a long distance. It could be 10 miles from one side of the city to the other. So even if it came down by a factor of 10, you'd still be talking $1 billion, and that's for one tunnel. If you want to go both directions, you need $2 billion. And if you want to have a multi-layered three-dimensional system, you're going to be talking hundreds of billions of dollars, and that's just for one city. And that's fundamentally the problem. It's not the fact that it costs a huge amount of money. It's the fact that if you don't invest a huge amount of money, you can't get anywhere with it. And unlike with electric cars, which, you know, automotive manufacture has the exact same problem. You have to put in billions of dollars, like billions upon billions of dollars, or you've got no chance of basically building a car manufacturer. Proven by, you know, all the failures that have come before Tesla, and the amount of money that Tesla has invested in making that dream a reality for them. Powered by investors who are in turn powered by the motivation and hype of Elon Musk and his team. Brilliant. Boom. Problem with the tunnels is, how do you get started? You know, you can't build a $100,000 tunnel, because if you did, it would be about that big, you know, which is not useful to anybody. So there's no easy way in. If you don't get the system actually being used and up and running and starting to grow and generate revenue, then you're never going to develop the kind of interest in investing that you'll need in order to build this into a reality. And that's where I think Elon Musk has probably got it wrong. I think the idea is right. I think human nature and economic reality is going to stymie that plan, unfortunately. When it comes to something like flying cars, quote unquote, you know, some kind of drone flying transportation system, it's not an insurmountable challenge anymore. You can just sell one for $1 million, and there will be somebody who will find that extremely useful. I mean, for goodness sake, people already buy helicopters that cost many millions of dollars, and they use them to fly around cities quite happily. The problem is that you can't make a helicopter cheap enough and autonomous and safe enough that it can actually integrate well with the surface level traffic and city environments generally. You know, they operate from the top of tall buildings in relatively small numbers. If you had cars that, you know, didn't have those big propellers flying all over the place, kind of dangerous and everything else, then I think you'd have a decent chance of actually increasing the numbers and getting some proper scaling into it, especially if you're reusing technology from, you know, now ubiquitous electric cars. You know, big batteries, high power motors, inverters, these things will become cheap as chips over time. Put them into your electric flying car. Nifty control software, which is becoming relatively cheap and easy to develop, and you've got a saleable product at $1 million. You'd sell quite a few of them. And once you've sold quite a few at that level, you can hopefully get it down to $500,000, and you'd sell quite a few more, then down to 100,000, and then you'd sell loads of them. And you can get them a bit cheaper than that as well, and you'll really be flying. Sorry about the pun. That's what I think is the problem with something like The Boring Company. It's not that I don't like the idea, it's that I just don't see how you're ever going to get it off the ground. Either way, however, I think it's a fascinating little TED talk. He gives lots of little tidbits of information out in that, so if you haven't seen it, do give it a watch. Before I say goodbye, I just want to add in a massive thank you to everyone who has decided to lend a hand in trying to get me out to San Francisco. Much, much appreciated. You'll be pleased to know I am going. The flight is booked, the hotel's booked. It's all sort of, you know, coming together. So now I've just got to sort of plan what I'm going to do for the days that I'm out there. Because of course only one of the days is going to be taken up with the factory tour, and the other days I would like to get out and see some of the things that you can't really see in the UK. Like, for example, the GM Bolt. Not going to see one of those around here, as far as I know. So I definitely want to lay eyes on one of those, one way or the other. I think this is probably where I'm going to sign off for the day. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, remember to like it, share it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram if you don't already. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next installment of my daily vlog. Bye. You know, through the wonders of editing, I'm going to make it look like I got that score. I'm just going to swap the names round. No one will know.